Is your cat a kitty on the keys? We show you how to get her off your PC today on Call for Help.
I hope these people can help me with my computer. Oh. No! A technician will be with you in 4 hours. 4 hours?
You can upgrade for just $5,000.
What?
The Universal Serial Config Board should be set to ID 6.
I need that in plain English. Help!
Leo Laporte, Call for Help. May I help you?
Hello, welcome to Call for Help. Yes, it's the kitty cat edition of our show. This is the show where we help you get the most out of your personal confuser. And Andy has brought his little kitty cat in to show for a demonstration, right?
For a demo.
That's fun. We're going to show you how to protect your keyboard from your kitty cat.
That's
That'll
right.
be exciting.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
Her name is Rue.
Hi, Rue. How old is Rue?
Rue's 14, and she has more. Yeah, she has more frequent flyers on her. Miles on her than any cat I know.
Around, huh?
Yeah, California, Vancouver.
She's actually a very pretty cat. She doesn't look a day over 10.
No, she's very young looking.
Very young looking. Do you have a kitty cat, Monica? You do, don't you?
I too.
And a doggy too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so neat. What are you going to be doing today on the show?
Animal house.
Animal house. You want to let Rue wander?
Yeah, let Rue wander.
Come here.
I'm going to show you. I've got a free file today.
What?
They're not for show hosts.
How is that?
They're tasty.
Leo just ate a cat treat.
What?
We have
You
more.
finished it
Any
somewhere.
water?
Wasn't that the actual commercial for it?
Yes.
Well, I won't have any worms anyway. So you got a free file today?
I got a free file today where you can get encyclopedia information at the click of a button.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And Amber MacArthur, our web workshop woman. I need another W.
We have like cat hair flying everywhere.
It's here. She's going to look at all the cat hair. It's going to tell us about understanding, evaluating, and improving your overall experience on your website. Web usability. This is actually great stuff. In just a bit. And a virtual host from Monica, too. But, see, now, Rue is happy now.
Yeah, she's chilling out.
She's just chilling down there.
She says, this is my guy. He eats my food.
Television cat.
That's great. I'd like to keep her around if we can.
We'll keep her the whole show.
Let's get our caller on the air.
We
I'm sorry,
actually
I
have
ate your
a
food.
Netcam caller, and he's Dave from Toronto.
Was that anchovy flavored? Hello,
Not
Dave.
anchovies.
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Hi, Leo. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
What can I do for you today?
Well, a couple months ago, well, in the fall, I got a camera for my wedding, and since then I've become this terrible photo nerd.
Oh, wasn't it fun, though?
Yeah. I now know what the word lossy means.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, lossy. What does lossy mean to you?
Headaches.
Well, what can I do to help you with your headaches?
Well, I've somehow in the last few months I've amassed thousands of pictures
Yes.
of my cat
Yes.
and my wife. And
In no particular order.
yeah, and you know, if you take a picture on a regular SLR,
Right.
you've got it on negative,
Yeah,
and your negative can last a long time.
Right.
But if you take a digital image, and this is something that I learned from you, and I think Patrick Norton, CDs degrade.
Yeah.
Recordable CDs degrade, and your hard drive is prone to data rot.
Right. So what do we do?
So what do you do?
Yeah.
I want my pictures to last thousands of years, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, I don't know about thousands of years, but I'll tell you those negatives wouldn't last thousands of years either. I think you're all right on a CD. Let's go to Andy McFadden's CDR FAQ, the frequently asked questions. It is one of the best resources for information about this kind of thing. Now, you're right. Patrick and I were talking about a study that was done by a German magazine that said that they had put some CDs in the closet for a couple of years, and lo and behold, when they took them out, a couple of years later, some of them were not readable. But I'm looking here at Andy McFadden, CDR FAQ, at cdrfaq.org, and he says CDRWs are expected to last about 25 years, CDRs 75 years on the green discs, 100 years on the gold discs, and on the platinum or advanced phthalocyanine dye, 200 years. Now, the question is that accurate? I mean, how could they know how long they're going to last? CDR technology's only been around for less than a decade.
Right.
This is actually a good article. I highly recommend you read it. There were some problems with early discs that weren't completely sealed, and there's a metallic backing in all CDs that's a reflective backing, and that was rusting. That was literally rotting in humid environments. They've solved that problem, so pre-recorded CDs are safe now. And they believe that if you take a well-made, and most of them are now, CDR, you keep it in a cool, dry place, away from light, because light can affect the dye, that you probably will be able to keep it for quite some time. I mean, I would worry more, frankly, about whether you'll have anything to play it on in 30 years. I mean, let's think back 30 years from now. What media did we have in 1974?
8-track.
I mean, and did we even have floppy disks?
Right.
So 30 years from now, will we have CD players is really the question. I think what's going to happen is, in all likelihood, well before that CDR breaks down, you're going to move it over to a different medium anyway, one that's more, contemporary.
Right.
And let's hope they come up with something that, has an eternal life. I don't know what that would be, though. No medium lasts forever that we've found so far.
Punch cards.
Punch cards.
Skynet.
Even they will crumble, and even your negatives, frankly, aren't going to last more than 100 years. So, I think there's nothing perfect. Go to this link. We've got it in the show notes. There is a great article, study by the Library of Congress on the longevity of CDRs. You've got to trust them. They're archiving, the U.S. Library of Congress is archiving every publication in the United States. So they've got a real interest in how this works. And then there's a very good article on the care and handling of CDs and DVDs from the U.S. National Institutes of Standards and Technology that will tell you a little bit about what you could do to make yours last longer. I wouldn't worry. I would get good quality CDs. And I would not worry about it. I think as long as you store them in the closet, and they don't get too hot, it's not too bright, it's not too damp, I think you're gonna be fine. And then just check them every once in a while. And I wouldn't keep. I'll tell you another thing. I would make extra copies. I wouldn't just have one copy of anything.
Right. Okay.
And get them out of there. And maybe use an online photo sharing service as well for some of the ones that you really want. That extra special picture of your cat or your wife.
But when you upload these pictures to say Yahoo Photos or something like that, is there any data loss in the transference?
Actually, when you do, at least I know with OPhoto, you upload the full quality picture. The problem is they don't let you have access to it. They show you a thumbnail, not the full quality. You can get high quality prints, but yeah, on most of those services you upload the full quality one.
Okay.
So you should note it. You'll see if they're changing the size. If the picture is a 2 megabyte picture and they're only uploading a few hundred K, there's something wrong.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But I think Patrick and I maybe overstated the case. We were worried at the time, but I think that as it turns out, and I asked Andy McFadden this of the CDR FAQ later, and he said, it's probably overblown. These things are as safe. It's really more an issue of what are you going to play it on in 30 years. 100 years from now, I guarantee you there will be no CD players.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So we don't even have to worry that long. I think what's going to happen is you just keep an eye on it, and you're going to move it to new media all the time. Okay, David? Hey, I thank you for the call.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, and your return has reinforced my belief in the meritocracy that we live in.
Yes.
Excellence will prevail.
Bless Canadian television. At least excellence will prevail here.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to get it on in the States. We'll see if we can prove meritocracy in the U.S., too.
Yeah.
There's some question about that right now. We'll see what happens after the election. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Coming up, shooing your cat off your computer. Andy has a problem. His little Roo just loves to type. Problem is, she doesn't know English yet. We'll see what we can do about it when Call for Help continues. Stay right here.
Whenever I'm in Toronto, I eat Whiskas, the salmon-flavored cat food. Are you sure these weren't liver-flavored?
No,
they were just a little... Oh, hey, they have soft core.
Yes. Rue likes them.
Outside, soft inside. Do you like them when you want one, Rue? Welcome back to Call for Help. I'm Leo Laporte. This is the kitty cat edition. I like them. They're good. Even the cat's not going to eat it. Ay,
She had too much.
You got to wonder what's in it. We're going to show you a free file. Is it a free file or is it a...
No, this actually costs money.
This costs money.
But it's cheap. And
but it's very important for those of you who have animals who like to crawl on your computer. Actually, cats see you typing, and they immediately jump up there. I guess because they want to get patted or something, right?
Well, right. It's like you're not focusing on them.
Yeah.
So,
hey, what about me?
Hey, what about me? And
you're
so they
looking at that. I'll get there.
This cat's not too bad. She likes to sit on my laptop when I'm not using it, when it's nice and warm.
Sure.
And in her younger days, she's 14 now, but in her younger days, she would like to sort of walk all over it.
She's a really sweet cat. Looks just like my Dusty, which is funny.
She's so cute.
I'm not bringing Dusty up here, though.
No.
No.
Long trip.
Yeah, well, I don't want any competition for the food.
That's true.
The buffet here.
Oh, you
is
like that, don't
fabulous
you?
on
Like
Call
that.
for Help.
Leo's your new friend.
Oh, yeah. So show us. You want me to hold her? And,
Yeah, I should just put it down on the table and
okay.
she'll go and do her thing.
She'll go. Yeah, well, I'm afraid of that.
So on my computer right now, actually, is a screensaver that is
PawSense.
PawSense. It's actually activated right now, and actually, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to get rid of the screensaver first,
Okay.
Because I'll show you how we activate it. So this is a program that, as soon as the cat gets onto your keyboard, it senses cat-like typing.
In other words, completely random letters.
Yeah, it actually it's like little paw print size multi-key maps.
So even if I typed randomly, it wouldn't set it off. It'd have to be like a paw.
You have to,
interesting.
or a really small footprint. So.
Right. Oh,
See?
Cat-like typing detected.
Detected.
I love that. Can you show that? That's hysterical. You are a kitten on the keys.
Now you can keep doing this, and your computer is completely protected from the cat.
So the cat can't type something in.
So you get the only way to actually get it back would be to type human down here to
Type the word human.
and it's gone.
Now, until your cat learns how to type human, you're safe.
You're safe, exactly.
Okay.
What's cool is as soon as you bang away on those keys, you can actually set this program to play a nasty sound.
Just to like go shoo shoo.
Because it goes shoo shoo.
Yeah.
So you can actually, I'm going to click on pick an annoying sound. Now the guy Chris Niswander who invented this, he's actually recorded some stuff for us. So here's
Well, it's well known that cats don't like opera.
No.
This is very well known.
But this is called not opera. So I'm going to hit that.
Yeah, cats. It's well known that a cat will run from that sound. Yeah.
And the harmonica. This is a better one. This is one that Rue really does not like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Rue likes Monica.
Rue likes Monica,
Rue likes
not
Monica,
harmonica.
not harmonica. Exactly.
You got any accordion
See,
on
Rue's
there?
like right
'Cause
here.
Cats also hate accordion.
I don't.
Rue
but
go
you know
back
what?
to you?
Rue
came back
over
to
here.
you. Oh,
But
Rue
The
knows
cat
where the
came back.
Rue knows where the whiskers are.
There's no accordion, but you could record your own accordion sounds. You can actually input. So
Any
you can
sound.
go record new sound.
So you could say, Rue, get out of here.
Go. Yeah. Rue, get out of here.
Yeah, that'll scare Rue.
Oh yeah, Rue looks
Rue
scared.
didn't even move.
She doesn't care. I know she doesn't care. So let's try that again. Rue, you could be nice too. Rue, get off the keyboard, please.
Or I'll play the accordion.
Or I'll play the accordion. All right, and you get file, save.
Oftentimes the threat is worse than the execution.
So we
I
go
find.
threat, save.
Yeah,
And then we can pick annoying sound and say threat.
that's right there. Okay,
And
now that'll be the anti-cat sound.
So we go
Okay.
test this. Rue, get out of here!
Oh, that'll work. That'll work. No,
no, the Rue's-
back wants us to get the cat. Rue's happy over there. We're gonna. So that's really cool. How much is that?
It's $20.
U.S.
U.S. Yeah, they'll ship it to Canada for actually 24. I think it is U.S.
Not bad.
Sort of thing,
And
so.
it downloadable, or you have to buy the CD?
You have to buy the CD or the floppy disk, and he'll ship it to you. He's working on some other.
That's kind of a funny idea.
It's a fun
And
idea.
you found that it works, though, if Rue gets on the keyboard?
Yeah, it does. And in fact, I did a review of it a few years ago when it was in 1.0. It's 2.1 at the moment. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
version.
Much improved.
But Reader's Digest picked up the thing, and apparently it got huge kind
Oh,
of
I
play.
bet.
People loved it. So
I bet.
It's a really clever piece of software.
PawSense.
He won an award for this, though, called the Ignoble Award.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an award for people who really do dumb things.
Dumb or useless things.
Well, that's better than nothing, I guess.
No.
Hey, that's great. PawSense. If you want to know more about it, of course, check out our show notes at callforhelptv.com. Whiskas?
Whiskers, yes, please.
They're delicious.
Crunchy.
Yeah.
Tasty. Yum,
Now it's time
yum.
for our Call for Help quiz. Our question of the day, what is HyperCard? What is HyperCard? Is it a smart card installed in a cell phone? A hypermedia authoring program? A type of electronic payment service, or a quick game of euchre? Get to the website. HyperCard. And we'll tell you what it is a little later on. It's Call for Help continues. Welcome back to Call for Help, the all-cat edition. Let's get another... actually, yeah, if any of you are on Netcam Any of our callers there, and come in, you have a kitty cat. Get ready. Get the kitty ready.
Or a kitty, or a dog.
Or dog.
Or
yeah. Or any
hamster.
animal.
It's
Hamster.
pet day.
No snakes,
Poodle.
though.
No snakes?
I hate snakes.
You don't like
I'm
snakes?
terrified of snakes.
You're like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
A weasel.
Do you have a... No. People keep ferrets?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was-
we have
that's a-
someone who works here who actually has 3 of them.
3 ferrets?
Yeah.
Why would you keep ferrets? Don't they have little sharp teeth? Little sharp ferret teeth.
They're so cute.
I hate to interrupt you and Rue. You seem like you're having a deep personal relationship, but I do want to know if we have any callers on the line here.
We do. We've got Chris from Richmond Hill, Ontario.
Hello, Chris.
Hello.
How are you? Welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm a Mac user at home and a Windows user at the office, and I use MS Office on both.
Good.
But there's a really cool feature on the Mac version where you can right-click on a word and you can define it, but I've never been able to find it in the Windows version of Office.
Yeah, you can look it up. In fact, let me open Word here, and we can show you. I have Word on my Mac, and I have the new Word. The nice thing is Microsoft actually. And this is probably part of the problem, Chris, is a little bit ahead on the Macintosh now. The Word just came out. It's Word 2004. And on the PC side, it's only Word 2003. So this, let's see here, is a document. Let's see, let me think of it. What's a good word we can see if it can...
Ferret.
Ferret. I have no ferrets. All right, so we're going to right-click on ferret. And we go to look up. This is actually such a nice feature. And you can look it up, the definition, the encyclopedia, or MSN search. The definition is built in. The actual dictionary is built in. But it doesn't know the word ferret. It knows fermata and ferment and fermentation, fermentation lock, fermentative. What is fermata? That's the the act of holding a note or chord or pause longer than the indicated time value. So that is I agree, Chris. That's a really nice feature. It's got a built-in dictionary.
Yeah, from time to time I'll forward a message to home because I just want to figure out the meaning of the word
What
that
does the
someone's
word
asking
mean?
me.
Well, there are, I'll tell you. Now, as far as I know, they haven't yet built that into Microsoft Word on Windows. Now, remember, they're not in sync. It's not the same team developing them. They're 2 completely separate divisions. They communicate because they do keep the file format the same and stuff like that. But they are not the same team. So, and in fact, they're out of sync. So right now, Mac is a little bit ahead of, and maybe the next version of Office for Windows will do it. I bet you, though, we could find a free file or an inexpensive file that would work that way. I know there's plenty for the web.
That's what I'm doing right now, actually. I'm on Google trying to find a Word add-in.
Right, for Word. There's plenty for, in fact, I believe there's a Firefox extension. You're the queen of Firefox extensions. Is there one where you can right-click on a word and it will look it up? I think there is on dictionary.com.
Yes, yep.
You showed us that,
There's
didn't you?
There's 2 different ones.
Yeah. So there's some that'll do it on the web, on browsers and Firefox and Internet Explorer, and that's really handy.
Yeah, I like that feature on Safari.
Yeah, Safari does it on the Mac. You know, that may be, in fact, why it's on the Mac. It may be that that's a service that's built into the OS X operating system, and it uses the OS X dictionary. I don't know, but that may, in fact, be the case. If Safari does it, then I'm thinking maybe that's why Word can do it on the Mac. Well, you know, it's not in Windows. Let's try it in Windows just to see, just to make sure. Here's Word 2003, and I'm going to type, this is a ferret, and we'll right-click. Now, we can't... Well, wait a minute. It says look up. Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. What version of Word do you have for maybe you're oh my goodness, it does do it.
Oh, it does. Because
Yes.
let me check here. I'm running 2002.
Yeah, you have an older version.
Oh.
So
okay.
there you go. So that, I don't know if that's a compelling reason to upgrade.
I'll have to get the whole office to do it, I guess.
Yeah, if it's at work, no wonder you're still on 2002. But yeah, dummy of me, I should have checked. It does do it on Office 2003.
Oh, okay.
So that's something that they I guess they put in 2003 and then put in Microsoft Word 2004 for the Macintosh. Nice feature, isn't it? It doesn't know ferret either, by the way.
Well, to me, it came up, it said search, hunt, rummage. It's a verb.
Oh, ferret out.
Ferret out.
Ferret out.
Didn't talk about weasels, though.
You know, here's a nice feature. We can translate a word or sentence from English to another language as well. This is a really kind of a fancy
there's a
little
bunch of different
research tool.
Yeah, different reference books.
And look at the Encarta, eLibrary, Factiva Works. Should we try I don't even know what Factiva Works is.
It's like a digital library.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it is. So I can look it up on ferrets moving faces. So I'm actually looking up articles about ferrets. Wow. So that's so I guess maybe now we have to go the other way. Why doesn't Microsoft Word on the Mac do that?
What do you mean it's not in the computer?
So Chris, I guess I don't have an answer to your question. You just have an old version of Word.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Right.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I have to say that Office 2004 on the Mac is a nice upgrade. There's some really nice features to it. At first, I'm always skeptical on the upgrade because, frankly, that's where they make their money, right? And every few years, they got to do a new version just so you'll buy it. And how much can you improve a word processor? And yet, I have to say, that's an improvement. That's pretty nice. It's nice to have a little research assistant in there.
Why do you think that they are doing two different development cycles?
Well, it's just two different teams. And that often happens. In fact, it happens frequently in a lot of companies where you just get out of sync. It's hard to stay in sync to lockstep two different development teams. You know, sometimes some get ahead and some others. Quicken had that problem for a while, and they kind of unified across both platforms. But it can be difficult. It can be difficult. And right now, it's very difficult to write. They're starting to do it in some development teams, but to write a program once for multiple platforms, unless you use Java or a multi-platform programming language, it's a very hard thing to do. That's a good question. Well, coming up in just a little bit, our free file of the day. You want to do it now?
Go that way.
Which way do I go?
Right over here!
Towards the cat.
The cat. Free file of the day time, Monica and Rue.
Monica and Rue.
Hey, that's how you doing? Good to see you, babe.
Rue's so comfortable here. I think Rue likes the couch.
Rue has found a spot.
Like the red couch.
Yeah.
So
Good, I'm glad somebody does, because we don't. I think we're going to get, by the way, I should say, I think we're going to get rid of these. We had a few complaints about these couches, and chiefly me, because I can't get up. I can't
Yeah.
So I think we're going to figure out something a little bit more nice here.
Redecorate.
When you're reading anything on your computer, and you come across an unknown term, like ferret, what do you do?
Well, it's funny that you had that call.
It is,
because it's related.
Well, show us. Yeah,
So you're on the internet. There's a term that you want to know more about. So let's say I'm reading your website, Leo, and I come upon Spain, and I want to know more about Spain.
Spain. Oh, do I have to
GBM,
switch over here? Sorry.
Whoops.
No, hit freeze. I want to hit freeze.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
So I'm reading that. Oh, Spain.
Spain, España.
I want to know more about it. So this free file is called GuruNet Kids. And you can get it at gurunet.com. And all you got to do is when you come upon the word or the term, you hold down the Alt key and you left click.
Is this an Internet Explorer or any?
I'm on Firefox right now.
So it works in any browser?
Yes. So and it brings up all these things, the dictionary term,
this is
encyclopedia.
Nice. Oh, Chris is going to like this.
Yep. Now, this is the free version. If you do want to subscribe annually, it's about $30, and you get a whole lot more resources.
But this is a lot.
This is really good. So it gives you.
See, I see it saying you have to subscribe for those.
It's got stats. It's even got the map.
Oh, let me see the map because I'm going to Spain.
Oh, you're there, Madrid.
Oh, good. Okay, now I know which way to head.
That's where you're going.
I'm going to Barcelona. Where's Barcelona?
Barcelona?
It's over there on the east coast by France.
Oh, it's not showing.
It's on the Wawa.
Oh, there.
Yeah, Barcelona.
There you are,
That's
or you're
going to be fun.
And it's even
Castilla?
showing you.
Is that Castile? I think is it? I don't know where it is. I think Catalan. It's Basque.
It even shows you sign language. Here, you want to learn that when you go?
Yeah. Well, let me see.
Can you see
move
it?
over a little bit up to the left
Move to
there,
the left,
Zdenko. And you'll see she's actually doing the X hand shape.
There.
That's Spain?
Yep.
Oh, that's good. Spain.
Ta-da!
Hey, that's cool. That is really neat. So it has ASL. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this.
And if you move over to the left side of the screen, there's a library with a whole lot more information that you can look up.
And this is the free version?
Yeah, this is the free version.
You get a ton of stuff. You get poetry about Spain, operas.
Yep.
Wow.
Cool, eh?
Ooh, it's our free file.
World leaders.
GuruNet.
Yeah. So it's great for students. You know, when they're doing research.
I love it. I'm going to have to get that for the kids.
Yep, so that's it.
Want to know more about that and all our free files of the day? Where do you go? You go to callforhelptv.com. And again, if you wanted the full version, which we're seeing the free version.
Yeah, there's already a lot of info here.
But
with with $30, you actually you can get it translated to different languages and
neat.
all sorts of stuff. So check it out.
Coming up in just a little bit, that's our free file today, by the way. You can look it up on the website, callforhelptv.com. Coming up in just a little bit, it is our web workshop. Amber MacArthur is going to be here. Come on in, Amber. We're going to talk about how to make your website more usable.
Join the party.
Stay right here.
Andy,
There's
don't you feel left out?
Yes. I want to be. Leo's got all the girls.
Let's dance. Now's the time when we dance.
Look at the cat.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Amber MacArthur is here. She's an expert in web usability. She has her own business and a website at iPrimate.com where she helps people like me fix our websites up. We're going to talk a little bit about making your website more usable, more user-friendly.
Exactly. So just when we talk about usability, it sounds a little bit complicated. Really what we're talking about is making the site really simple and really easy to use.
I'm a believer in that. A lot of sites are way complicated.
They're way too complicated. People get a little bit caught up in the technology and they try to build something that's really advanced and does lots of different things, but they don't focus on the front end.
Right.
When we talk about the front end, what you see, what people see, what the public sees.
Right. Not just the homepage, but the whole user interface.
The whole user interface.
It is a problem on homepages, though, because sites now are so big and complex that people want to put a link to everything in the site on one front page, and you can't find anything.
Exactly. People get a little bit carried away and they try to pile too much content in there, and they don't think a lot about the structure of the website, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
I know that you and I both admire Jacob Nielsen.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely admire him. He's actually one of the first people to really focus in on usability and talk about usability, and he wrote this book, Designing Web Usability, which is kind of a little bit like my Bible.
I could tell because his bookmark, it's underlined, it's thumbed.
There's copy spills and all that.
I have this book too, and I love it. He's also done a great one on homepage design. And even if you're an amateur just doing your own design, this is actually great reading.
It's really good. He actually suggests in the book that this is, before you're actually going to start building your website, this is the first thing you should read. And walk through it and read the different chapters. And at the end of it, hopefully you understand that your site doesn't have to be as complicated as you might think it should be.
Right. That's his website, useit.com. And he is, we'll have him come up.
That would be excellent.
I've interviewed him many times. He's a fun character.
Yeah.
And he's really smart.
We have a picture of him here, actually.
Yeah, he's kind of cute, too. What's funny is... actually really important is that it's not just his good ideas.
Yeah.
They test this stuff like crazy.
Oh, they definitely do. He's done a lot of testing, and he's written, I think, hundreds and hundreds of articles about usability, and he does seminars.
Well, give us some of his top 10 design tips. I don't know if we'll get through all 10.
Yeah, we'll go through a few of the key ones. So,
should we use an example?
Yes, we're actually going to use an example. We're going to use Leoville as an example.
Oh, no! Oh, gosh. All right, well, might as well. I'll be the victim. Understand, I designed this, quote, designed this many years ago, well before I had read this book, and I'm not an expert. But I do try to keep it simple. I do try to keep it easy to navigate.
It is really simple. And that's one thing people should remember is that before you take a lot of the things that Jacob says, you should remember that design for your user.
Right.
And don't take everything he says to heart because it may not work for your user. So think about your user and keep that in mind when you're reading through some of these tips. So we'll walk through Leoville and we'll focus on some of the tips that he suggests. The first one he talks about is to include a one-sentence tagline or a purpose of the website.
Yeah, nowhere do you find that on my site. You have no idea what my site is about.
So this might be something to maybe improve on your site. I'm sure most people who go to Leoville, they know what it's all about, but it might be nice to add a tagline or something like that.
That's a good idea,
and keep that tagline on all of the pages so that it's consistent.
Okay.
The next tip that he talks about is to group information per category.
By the way, that quote is not my tagline. That just changes every time you go to the site as a new quote. So.
Yeah, there's lots of great quotes. So maybe you want to...
Quotes are fun, but they don't
really
add any information at all.
Maybe in the top right up here, you want to actually add a tagline, something kind of neat and catchy.
I'm Leo. Here's my page.
It's something, and people try to be a little bit too creative with some of those lines, but try to actually spell it. Make it simple. Say what you're there for and what you do.
I have to say, I am a big believer in communicating. That's what we're here to do. So make it straightforward.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So another thing he talks about is to actually group information. I think you've done a really excellent job of that. So you get good marks on that front.
Okay. That's my nav bar there.
That's the nav bar. So you have radio, TV, news. So everything is very clear.
Yeah. Except what is a mob?
What is a mob?
People might not know what that is.
That might not be so clear. And I know that you design your site using frames, which Jacob is a little bit against. But
everybody's against.
Yeah, at least you offer the option for no frames, which is a good start.
And if you go there with a browser that doesn't do frames, it'll handle that. It'll degrade gracefully. It'll automatically go to a no-frame version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then another tip he talks...
You know what, that's laziness. Now, what I want to do eventually is do the new cascading style sheets allow you to do exactly the same kind of nav bar.
Those
I
are
just
really
haven't gotten
great.
around to doing it.
Yeah, I mean, eventually there's time. You know, sites are constantly improving, so that's one thing to remember.
I am going to now my mom's on the phone saying, your site stinks!
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Okay.
So he also talks about emphasizing the site's priority tasks, which in plain language actually means to put links on your homepage that are some of your more popular links. For instance, you have a link to Call for Help, to G4 Tech TV Canada, so you definitely get passing marks on that.
So those should be. Could you get my phone? It's in my bag. It's all right. It's just my mom. All right. So those links should be what? What are they supposed to be?
If you take your site, think about where people go the most often and what content is really popular. And if you're into looking at your site traffic stats, this is a good time to go through and see where people are going the most and put those links on the homepage.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they don't have to be in the navigation. They can be, as you put them here, all along here, to some of the things that you do, which people will come back to.
And this kind of explains what I'm doing, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. All right.
That's one thing Jacob talks about is how people surf the web. And you have to understand people are coming from different directions and surfing differently. So for some people, the nav bar on the left will work. For others, they'll want the content on the homepage. So, try to appeal to those different groups.
How do you address the issue, though, having so much content and putting it on the front page? You can't put everything on the front page.
You can't, actually. And what we're going to talk about a little bit later is a sitemap at some point, and about navigation and creating sort of a tree. So creating the architecture of the website.
So maybe higher level categories on the front and allow people to drill into the website.
Yeah, and you have to get a little bit creative on some of those fronts, and you have to group information as it makes sense to the user and not how it makes sense to you.
If you think about Amazon.com, where they have so many things, and yet they do a very good job of making it, when you go in there, at least able to find what you want.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job, and we're going to talk actually in another segment about looking at some good websites and stealing some ideas from them.
Anything else bad to say based on Jacob's analysis?
One thing he talks about, he's not very much into design and really advanced graphics, but he says you should use meaningful graphics, so graphics that mean something to you. And on Leoville,
very few graphics.
There's very few, but that's actually good, and Jacob would give you good marks for that as well, because you don't need a lot of graphics on the site. It's content. People are coming here for the content.
And cheesy clip art, always you get a couple of marks for cheesy clip art.
I wasn't going to say anything.
One thing I do on there that I know he doesn't like is I say welcome to Leoville at the top there, and he says don't say welcome. Why not say welcome? I mean, I want to welcome people, right?
Yeah, he doesn't. I think with Jacob, he doesn't like unnecessary language. So
that's unnecessary.
Yeah, that's unnecessary. So
you're here.
Exactly. People know that they're there and they've arrived there and they've made a conscious effort to come there. So focus more on what they can learn on the site and add a tagline like we talked about before.
Lots to learn. There are actually 10 top 10 design tips here. We will have the rest on our website if you go to callforhelptv.com.
Exactly.
And Amber's going to come back and that wasn't too bad. No. Can you eviscerate Andy's site?
Yeah,
later?
the next time around we're going to do Cyberwalker. Fair, so.
Yes, and if you and Amber does. You see how gently she does this? She could do this for you too, very gently. If you go to her website at iPrimate.com, Amber will be back next week with more Web Workshop. A call for help. More calls to come on this show. Stick around. Call for Help continues right after this. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh, the sun came out. I like that. Can I do the show in silhouette?
That'd be good.
We'll do good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here, let me get in front of the light here. We can look more like Alfred Hitchcock.
There you go.
Good evening. Welcome to my show. Today on Call for Help, hangings, murders, and death. No, we're going to take more calls. That's what we're going to do right now. Do you have one for me? Aren't you glad you don't have a website right now, Monica? Yeah. When are we going to get to your website?
I'll get Amber to design it so then she can critique her own.
You have a blog, though, don't you? You have anything going on?
No, not yet. I'm working on it.
Are you? Good.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Do you own a URL, a domain?
No, I don't.
No.
It'd be interesting, though, to see if my name is taken.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure Monica Laton was available.
Yeah.
I'm sure that is.
Let's try. Let's find out.
Or Monster.
Monster's gone. I think there is a monster.com, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, yeah, Monster, yeah, that's right.
What about Monica Alicious?
Monica Alicious is probably available for good reason. Do we have another caller on the line here?
We do. We've got Raymond from Kandiak, Quebec.
Oh, hello, Raymond. Welcome to the show. Bienvenue.
How are you, Leo?
I am very well.
Nice to see you now back on Call for Help. I really missed you.
I love it. I missed me too.
Okay.
I'm so happy to be here. I am loving it. How are things in Quebec?
Excellent, excellent.
Beautiful weather today?
It's not bad. It's very nice. Yeah, it's
Good.
nice blue sky.
Great. I'm working on my French, by the way, so I can do this show bilingually.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Oui, c'est ça. Très bien. C'est vrai. Okay, and that's it. That's my whole right there. That's it. That's all you're getting. What can I do for you today, Raymond?
Well, I just moved back from. I was living in LA for the last 5 years.
Oh my!
And by the way, I missed TiVo greatly.
Yeah. You know, we were talking about that, and I got a lot of email. We talked about that last month, and I said there's no TiVo in Canada, and I got a lot of emails saying, well, what are you talking about? We've got PVRs. Yeah, you may have these hard drive recorders. You know, Rogers and many cable companies offer them, the satellite companies. It ain't TiVo, is it, Raymond?
No, it isn't.
There's
Believe me.
like
We should do something and bring TiVo up to Canada. It's unbelievable.
I wonder why it's not up here, frankly. I mean, this would be a great market. I don't understand what's the holdup. There may
I
be.
don't know.
Money.
Is it money?
Money, yeah,
Do they
sure.
have to get the CTRC to approve it? Do they have to?
They need separate certifications.
Yeah.
They haven't been in the most profitable company in the first few
Yeah,
years.
they're broke, really. I mean, they're
Yeah.
not doing that well, unfortunately.
You don't
Isn't that sad? I mean, there's a company who really created the category, does the best product in the market, and they can't get traction for some reason. I think people think it's too complicated. We're talking about these hard drive video recorders. Anyway, I'm sorry, Raymond.
Okay, no
got
problem.
sidetracked.
Well, while I was living in LA, I was working out of my home.
Yes.
And I just moved back to Cognac recently.
Yeah.
And I have a whole bunch of emails on my home computer, which I want to transfer over to my office computer.
Got it.
And I want to do that without sending myself emails.
1,000
emails. All day
emails.
doing that, and then I'll get them all. The front would be for myself.
You don't have to do that. Don't worry.
Okay.
What email program were you using in
Outlook.
LA? Oh, that's easy then. Do you still have the old computer?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So the way Outlook works is it stores all of its files, everything, email, calendar, address book, everything in one big file. Now, that's great for doing what you want to do. Some people say, gee, that's a problem, because what if something goes wrong with that file? You're gonna have some problems. The name of the file is outlook.pst.
Yeah, I don't want to transfer all my emails. I just want to transfer a portion of them.
I get it. Okay, well, you can also export from Outlook. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any email in here, so this is going to be kind of a lame export. But you can also, let's see, export to a file. I got to go to the email inbox. Okay, export to a file. And then we can choose a file format. Now, it's unfortunate because Outlook will not export to a standard file. But I believe you can even, let me see, I wish I had more mail in here.
Somebody told me to try this out.
Yeah.
They said to create a folder on my desktop,
Yeah.
on my home computer.
Yeah.
And then open Outlook, okay, then restore it down, then drag the individual emails to my folder on my
can
desktop.
do that. Yeah, you can do that. You can drag any email to the desktop. In fact, watch, I'm going to just drag this over to the desktop, and that email, and the same thing will work with individual emails. And then what will happen, yeah, absolutely, you can do that. Now, the import is going to be slow because you're going to import, you'll basically be opening these one at a time, just like that.
Yeah, that's it. And then I burn it to a CD, then I bring it to the office.
You're copying individual, by doing that, you're copying individual emails. They're .eml files, and they're all individual. Outlook does not use the standard email format, which is a shame, because then they could export and import into any file. Let me look at. I didn't realize that you only wanted to copy specific emails.
Yeah, because I did with an Outlook. I found the PST files, but that's it's the whole thing, and I can't get individual emails.
But no, you can't. I think this is the best way to do it. Frankly, is just copy the PST file. Then you'll have everything, and delete what you don't want. And that's going to be the easiest thing. All you have to do is open
Office computer, but it won't affect my emails, which I have currently in there.
No. In fact, what will happen is you'll have basically two Outlook files at the same time. You'll have two, they call them personalities. And, see this personal folders here? This is one. You'll have a second one, a second personal folder. And you can then drag and drop the folders you want from one folder to the other folder.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And that way, I would say that's the best way to go by far.
Okay.
By far. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to be dragging in. Just take the whole PST file. You'll have a back of it. It's going to be big. It may be too big to get on a single CD. You might have to put it on a couple of CDs.
Or I could put it on DVD, I suppose?
Or DVD. It'll fit. Yeah, it's not going to be that big.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a quick tip. He could selectively archive You could basically choose a folder to archive, create an archive.pst file, and use that.
Yeah, that's basically creating another PST file. But you already got one. You don't need to archive it. You got one PST file. You're exactly right. You can archive it. So if you wanted to do the selection on your old one and make it a smaller file, you can do that as well. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Raymond. Having done this, the easiest way is just copy the whole darn thing. You'll have 2 separate personal folders.
Okay.
You can move them around. You can close once you're done with the old one, you can close it. You'll still have it on the hard drive. It's the easiest way by far to organize these.
And if I have Outlook 2003 on my home computer,
doesn't matter.
And I have an older version of my Office
same
computer,
folder.
that doesn't matter?
Same folder, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, same file format. It's the same thing. Okay.
Sounds great. And bring TiVo to Canada.
Yeah. We got to start a campaign.
For sure.
Bring TiVo to Canada. TiVo. Coming up, we've got Andy who's going to chant for us, Monica, and more of your calls. But first, our question of the day. What is HyperCard? Is it a smart card installed in a cell phone? Is it a hypermedia authoring program? A type of electronic payment service? Or a quick game of euchre? Get to the website. Give us your answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked you what HyperCard is. You old Mac timers will know it was a hypermedia authoring program written by Bill Atkinson for the Macintosh. And what a great program that was. In fact, it really has inspired, I think, in a way, a lot of later programming environments like the Visual Basic. And it really was fun. Did you use HyperCard, Andy?
I didn't, but I know a lot of people who basically said if you want to get your start,
great way to start
in programming, use HyperCard for sure.
It was wonderful. So, I hope you got that right. How did you know that, Mikey? That's a long time ago. Lorraine knew that. Yeah.
Go Lorraine.
All right, so it's time for Monica and Monster's Pick. And one of my favorite things that you did was those Veepers, where we took Andy and went, made him talk and stuff.
Yeah, that was fun.
So we're going to kind of do another kind of thing like that?
Yeah, something similar. Again, it's something that you can email to your friends and, have some fun with their images.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it's animated. It's not an actual
So you can't use
photo.
yourself.
Right.
Okay.
So the idea of this is you can create a character that looks like yourself.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. So it's
that's
by Oddcast.
Okay.
So you can go to oddcast.com
Is this you?
to do this. So this is me.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that neat?
That looks just like you.
Does it?
Well, sort of.
It's pretty. It's as close as I could get.
So do you you can choose different lips and...
Yep, there's
look, she's watching you.
hair. Yeah, look, it follows the mouse.
I think that looks like Monica.
It does.
Pretty close.
Wow.
So you can play with the, hairdos, the clothes. So I could wear that instead or that. We put shades. So it's
it's
like something
Monica.
fun. Something fun. And so I had a little fun with Andy and,
Did you make an Andy?
you, of course.
Oh, this is going to be scary. Let's see.
So let's see. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Andy.
Is that pretty close?
Yeah.
This is as close as I could get.
That's good. Yeah.
So there's different puppets and
I
such.
like them. I like
Yeah.
how they watch you. The animation's kind of neat.
It's kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah.
So, and then
Ooh.
they could say different sayings and such. So, let me see if I reload this. See if it'll.
We gotta make one of Vac. They could say, "You're heavy. You're running out of time. The show's almost over."
She's a cue ball.
You want to see you?
Yeah, you did one of me.
Oh, this one. I had a hard time with you.
Yeah, I know. There's no way to make anything look like
Don't
me.
laugh, okay?
Oh gosh. That's kind of like me. See, the problem is all these people are young, right? You don't have any old puppets.
Hi, my name's Leo. I'm playing golf.
Oh,
That's good. It does. It looks like the president of the United States,
So,
our fearless leader.
Always be kind, loving, and patient.
Oh, I like that. You didn't plug in the audio jack. We can't.
Whoops.
Can't
Hold
hear
on. Let me see if you can.
Always kind, loving, and patient. I like that.
Yeah,
He's a very friendly geek.
Yeah, so, you can play with the color of your hair, your skin, your lips, your makeup.
I don't wear makeup.
So,
Always be kind, loving, and patient.
Oh.
There we go.
And then what do we do once we have this thing? I mean,
So then you can email it to your friends.
so
and
you could make
send
a message. You know what? The voice synthesis is quite good on that. It doesn't sound like a robot. It sounds like a real voice.
Yeah.
They must have a dictionary of words.
Actually, the sayings are
those are
already
sayings.
preset.
I get it.
So, let's have lunch, or I had a good time last night, or...
Make Andy say, let's have lunch or something.
Where was that?
Coors.
Let's eat cat treats.
Oh, there.
Help someone hungry.
You, me, lunch? What do you say?
Yum, yum.
So you're going to have a whole lot of fun with this.
Where do we get this?
You get this at host.oddcast.com.
Host.oddcast.com.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that's Monsters Click of the Day. Do we have time for a call?
Do we?
Back? Do we have time? No, we don't. Let's take a break. We'll come back with some final words. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. We'll be right back after this. We'll call for help. Continue. Stay here.
You, me, lunch? What do you say?
Welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here. Poor Andy's lost his chair to Rue. Rue has found a place to sit. Actually, Andy seems quite comfortable. How long have you had Rue? Your whole life?
My whole life, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, her whole life.
Yeah.
My whole life.
If she's 14, it's been since you were young.
Since 1990,
yeah. Oh, that's really sweet. Aww. That is a sweet little kitty cat. Hey, we were talking about this TiVo thing, and Mikey had a thought, and I don't know if this is true, and we'd actually have to ask TiVo, maybe we should, why they're not in Canada. But he said it might be a privacy issue, and it's true. One of the things TiVo does is you have a phone jack plugged into the back of your TiVo, calls home every couple of days, and it uploads information about what you've been watching. In fact, now they say it's not about individuals. We aggregate that information. But for instance, if you look in USA Today, it'll show what the most watched TiVo show of the night was. It's almost like ratings. And I've seen TiVo reports on my TV shows where you can see when people paused, rewound. And in fact, if something was really interesting on the show, you can see a big spike where people rewound a lot. So you really can really actually learn quite a bit. And I think you might be right, Mikey. That might be an issue here. Do you have stronger privacy laws in Canada? You have pretty good privacy?
I think we sort of keep pace with the states, to tell you the truth.
I mean, the States has no privacy laws.
Oh, in that case, maybe we don't. But we're a little more cautious.
Yeah, that might be. Well, I noticed one thing. For instance, we have an email address we give out, leo@callforhelptv.com. And I was concerned, okay, what's going to happen to that? And it turns out that the company has much more strict privacy rules than I even realized. And in fact, we're having a hard time making it so that I can get the email at my house because they don't want to let it out at the company. They don't collect, they don't harvest. And I think that's great. I said, hey, that's great, guys. More power to you. So I have to sign a contract that says I will not keep track of any of this information. I'll delete it. And I think that's appropriate.
It is appropriate.
We don't want to harvest email addresses. So if you contact us, you can be sure that nobody is collecting your email address. No salesman will call. We're not going to sell it to a spam list. Call for Help at Tech is the website, callforhelptv.com. I'm Leo at callforhelptv.com. Monica at callforhelptv.com. That's Andy on the floor. Rue doesn't have an address yet, but we're working on it. If you want to be on the show, just go to the website, callforhelptv.com, and click the button that says, I want to ask a question. On behalf of Vac, me, Monica, and Andy, we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Drop me a line sometime. Drop me a line sometime. Drop me a line sometime.